Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacey and I'm an affair recovery coach. I help the unfaithful in their affair and prevent relapse. If you would like to know how to work with me one-on-one, check the description box below and it'll have a link to my calendar and all that kind of information. Okay, let's get started on the video. So today's video is going to be about what is affair fog. So I'm going to start a series probably in the next few weeks talking about affair fog. What is it? How do we get stuck in it? How to know when we're in it? That kind of thing. So stick around. I have a lot of good information for you guys. But today we're going to talk about what affair fog is, like in my opinion, what it really is, what I experienced about it, and what I believe it is, like my general opinion of what it is, since I've gone through it. Okay, let's get into it. So affair fog is a term used by experts to describe that exciting ecstasy, that high that we feel when we're having an affair. Some people also describe it as a fantasy that the partners create. It can be described as a change in perception and behavior. Now, with this one, I would agree with that because I saw how my behavior and my perception changed. So when we think about perception, or when we think about behavior, because a lot of times we look at a person's behavior and that's what we judge that person on, or that situation on, is what they're doing, because that's what we can see. But when we take a step back and look behind the curtains, it's going to be the perception first, because our thoughts are going to generate emotions and those emotions are going to create a behavior. That's just how it is. So when you're having an affair, your perception changes, like how you see your spouse, how you see your affair partner, and especially with the affair partner, because you both are entering into the romantic stage of love. So now everything is altered and you're going to get a change in behavior just because your thoughts have changed, which have produced different emotions inside of you, which produces a different behavior. So if you have a spouse who's having an affair, or if you're having an affair and you're like, my behavior has changed, what's going on? It's because your perception has changed. That's why you're different. So I do believe that affair fog causes that. It's just because when you're married, you're probably in the power struggle stage of a relationship. So you've gone through the first two. You're probably in power struggle mode and you're struggling and you've been there for a little while. It's creating vulnerability and that kind of thing. It's triggering your attachment wounds, all of that. So when you're in that stage, and then in that stage you tend to feel numb, disconnected from your spouse. You may feel alone. You may have given up a long time ago, that kind of thing. And your affair partner comes along. Now they have pushed you into the romantic stage. So now you're in a completely different stage of all of this concoction of very intoxicating chemicals are now released in your body, and now you're happy, and your whole outlook has completely changed because now you're feeling that euphoric feeling again. In an affair, we can experience cognitive dissonance, which is, the way I describe it, is a feeling of being torn between two different situations. It's, you have two different beliefs going on and they are inconsistent with each other. In other words, like, I believe I should stay with my husband, but then I believe I should stay with my affair partner. So now I'm in this torn place, and that's what happens in affair fog. Also, you just get into this place of being torn, and it just makes you feel like you're in a bubble, because now I'm just so focused. I don't know what to do, and I cannot see clearly, and I'm not thinking right, and I don't feel connected to anything around me except my affair partner. So basically that one might have been a good one to put in the signs of affair fog, but I put it here because I think it goes along with what affair fog is to me. It's the sense of feeling torn. It's the sense of feeling high and happy and excited and in love, and then it's the sense of feeling devoted, or committed, or We've been together for a long time. We have children. I love you. We grew up together. It's that I'm in the middle. I'm just torn. And my beliefs on affair fog is I understand the term and I understand why it's used, but I don't understand how it played out in my life, because when I did research and, trying to figure out what I was going through, to me, it just felt like romantic love. And the reason I say that is because my affair partner was in love with me. So when you talk about affair fog and you talk about limerence and you talk about that kind of stuff, it's like being infatuated, but there's no reciprocation. There's nothing coming back. Like, oh, I have this boy in school and he's cute and I have this crush on him, but he doesn't like me, that kind of thing. And in an affair relationship, you both are, hey, I love you, or hey, I'm thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you today. I want to be with you. I want to talk to you. You're both in that place. And basically, there's only one set of chemicals that happens, gets released when we're falling in love. So I think affair fog is romantic love stage. I did a blog post on it. But I wanted to start off this video with it because I see, that it's a popular term in affair world, like affair recovery world. And I thought you guys, should understand like a little bit about it, how when you are having an affair, your perception will change, your behavior will change. And you will get to a place where you feel like you are torn, where you feel like you're going in one direction and then pulling in another direction, and you don't know which way to go. And it's very confusing. It can be very isolating, very lonely time, very painful time, because, guilt is going to start setting in. At some point, a lot of things are going to start happening, and you're just going to be in a horrific place at that point. So affair fog is not just the high of a relationship. It's also the low of when I get to this place of feeling like I'm torn between two different beliefs. I don't know how to get out. That's it too. And now I'm in this like another world. Do I believe it's a fantasy? No, I don't believe it's a fantasy. Because it's real life. It's real people. I'm real. My affair partner was real. We were having a real conversation on the phone. We had real moments together. We had real sex together. That's not a fantasy. Like, I mean, a fantasy is just something in your head that's not really existing. But when you have an affair, you're having a real relationship, and we have to treat it as a real relationship if we want to see any kind of progress, any kind of healing, anything like that done. We have to treat it as it is, what it is, and stop calling it a fantasy. Do we live in a fantasy world when we're having an affair? No, we live in vacation mode. One of my clients mentioned that to me, and I thought, wow, that's great, because it is. We're in vacation mode all the time with this person. We're not in a fantasy world. Like, let's get real. Like, let's really get real about what's going on so we can have some real healing. Because as long as we stay in denial, that's how long it's going to take for us to recover. As long as we deny what's really going on, is as long as it's going to take to get to the place of healing and reconciliation, if that's what needs to be done. So those are my thoughts on what affair fog is, and I don't want to say what it's not, but I kind of described it to you guys the best that I feel like it was for me. Let's just heal it. Bottom line, let's just get out of this and let's get some freedom back into our lives. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. You can email me. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any video suggestions, leave them down below. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I hope you found this helpful. Bye.